Hey y'all, it's Andrea with Sucs For You in Houston, Texas, and this video is about what succulents like to be potted together, which ones don't, and why or why not. I made this arrangement a few years ago. There's a lot of lovely stuff in there. We have a moon cactus at the top, some echeverias, and some sedums. Now that moon cactus, it's true, normally you don't want to pot cacti with echeveria because they need less water than the echeverias, but the moon cactus is a grafted cactus. It's a gymnocalcium grafted on Hylocereus, and Hylocereus is dragon fruit, and that is a tropical cactus, so it can tolerate more water. It's not ideal, but we can get away with this for quite a while before it needs to be repotted on its own. Now this next arrangement also has a lot of fun stuff in there. We've got Pacuvaria, some Graptivaria, Echeveria, Setivaria, lots of varias going on in there. And all of those get along together as well. They have the same light requirements, the same water requirements, and yeah, they're happy together. So in this pot on the right over here, we have a lot of really pretty rosettes. We've got Graptivaria, different types of Echeveria, Graptopedilum, Bellum, some Setivaria, and they are all happy together. Same care requirements, once again. Now this pot, we have a little odd man out, and that Bromelia, the earth star up front, the pink dude right there, not happy with cacti because it likes more water, it needs more shade, so I did wind up having to repot him into a different pot. Most mesums like Argyroderma, Lithops, Split Rocks, the Pleospilos, they do need to be potted on their own. It's highly recommended because they have different watering needs and they have a totally different growth cycle than Echeveria, Setivaria, all the others that we've talked about. Here's a few examples of types of succulents that don't mind being potted together or actually get along pretty well. We have Echeverias. They do well with Setivaria, Graptopedilum, Graptivaria, sedums, calanchos, peperomias, among others, of course. Horthias get along well with calancho, aloe, euphorbia, gasteria, portulacaria, senecio. So these guys need to be potted either all by themselves in their own little pots or with the same genera, and that's because they are either going to be dormant at a different time than their other succulents in the pot, or they just have totally different care needs. So that's why it's important to research that individual plant that you're planning on potting with others. Find out whether it's going to go dormant based on your climate. What is the plant's typical behavior? Like with aeoniums, they tend to go dormant during the summer times, even if it's not very hot where you are. And all that's very important because watering when a plant is dormant can kill it. It's not uptaking any water, it's not growing, so that leads to root rot, stem rot, lots of problems. And again, dormancy is influenced by the season and by the temperature, meaning that if you don't have a big fluctuation in the temperature where you're located or you're growing indoors, your plants might not experience full dormancy. So in hotter regions, plants are more likely to slow their growth. For me, my aloes, my haworthias, basically everything that I keep outdoors in the summertime, I have to be very careful about overwatering, even though your instinct is to give them more water when it's really hot. But with a lot of the plants, that can do a lot more harm than good. And likewise, in cold regions, most succulents will slow their growth. And if we're going to say, I can't really give you a specific temperature, but anything below 60, more than likely that plant is going to slow its growth, which means it needs less water. So when you're potting up an arrangement, you do want to plan for future growth. Are your plants going to get tall? Is it going to block the view of some other plants? Or is it going to spill over the pot where you want it? So you just kind of have to think ahead, because even though they're slow growers, they still grow. And with spiky, pokey plants, you'll want to give them more space so that when they grow, they're not going to physically damage nearby plants. Most important, you need to have fun, get creative, as creative as you want, and remember, nothing is permanent. You can repot these plants just about any time. If you see one just doesn't look right, or it's outgrown the pot, you just pick it up, take it out, and put it in another pot. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope that helped give you some ideas about different types of succulents that you can put together in a pot when you're making your arrangements, and which ones to avoid putting with other plants if you want to avoid future problems down the road.